Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Matt and Happy New Year. Let's have a great 2021 for language learning and in general. And I thought a great topic for this day would be momentum in language learning. We want to start off the new year right, just kind of with a good habit, with good momentum. But really, the concept and power of momentum applies to so much more than just the start of a new year, right? It can be a new week, a new day, etc. And especially when we're looking at a new year, maybe you are learning a new language, you want to get to an advanced level in the language that you're learning, wherever you are, I do think it's really good to start off on the right foot, right? To kind of have this initial momentum such that the rest of the year, the rest of the week, whatever it is just easier for you, right? So I think it's very important, especially with just kind of the first days of a week, or in this case, a new year, to just really be kind of put a lot of effort into building a habit and a routine with language learning, right? I think it's going to do a lot of things for you if you kind of put in that effort, right? Let's say you have a goal of studying languages for 30 minutes daily. Really try to make a concerted effort to hit that 30 minutes every single day, at least for the first couple of days, right? Try to work on building that habit. Hit your goal of how many vocabulary words you want to learn. Anything like that, because the more kind of time you put into language learning, the more that you get into that habit of doing language learning, the routine of language learning, it's going to be a lot easier to put the time and energy into language learning because you're comfortable with it. And you're going to see also that because you're putting all this time in, you're going to get some initial results, you're going to feel confident, you're going to feel happy, and that's going to keep pushing you forward throughout the next month, the next year, the next day, whatever. So I think that especially with the new year, it's really good to start off right and have that initial momentum. But the thing is, this concept applies beyond just the new year, right? Let's say that you had a bad week with language learning. Things got very busy. You failed in some things that you wanted to do. You weren't motivated. Well, I think it's good to just take a look back at what went wrong, what happened, and don't let it affect you too much, and start off the next week right. So when Monday hits, make a really concerted effort to hit your hour total of language learning for the day, or the 30 minutes, or whatever your goals are, right? Start off that beginning of the week right, because then you're kind of auto-correcting. You're correcting, what went wrong the past week, right? And I think that initial momentum of those first couple of days can really set the tone for the rest of your language learning throughout the week, right? Versus trying to reverse kind of a bad mindset on a Wednesday or a Thursday, right? And it doesn't have to be in a week time frame. It could be just you had a bad day with language learning, let's reverse it the next day. So I think that just having that initial momentum in any kind of cross section of time is very important and be very helpful, right? It can really, I think, make the difference between just a little bit of extra progress for language learning for the week, for the year overall, whether it's 10% or 15%, that really can add up. So, don't overlook that kind of momentum, that habit that you can build. And the thing is, too, it can apply to other concepts as well, right? Maybe you want to start reading in a foreign language or practice speaking. Start off right. Prepare ahead of time, what you want to do in that conversation, how you want to approach reading, and really put a lot of energy into that new activity that you're going to do. Because when you have that initial burst, I think it really does help a lot. And then kind of last thing about momentum is, let's say you're going to kind of sit down for an hour to do language learning, 30 minutes, whatever. Try to make that first 15 minutes, that first little period of time you're putting into language learning very effective, right? Go into that with the kind of best mindset you have, a positive mindset. Try to really be focused, eliminate those distractions, and make that first 15 minutes really good. Because then once you have that energy put into it, you've kind of gotten over that hurdle of just getting started. I think it's going to help to make the next 15 minutes, the next 30 minutes, the rest of your language learning session a lot better. So, that initial momentum in a lot of ways sets the tone for the week, right? If you have a bad day on Monday or Tuesday, it's setting the tone for the rest of the week. If you have a bad start to the new year, it's setting the tone for the rest of the year. So, I think that you can always kind of overturn that negative tone and that negative momentum, but you start off on the right foot, you're setting a positive tone, which is ultimately, I think, going to carry over to the next week, the next day, the next month, and the rest of the year, which is why I'm kind of stressing this momentum, right? It's not to say that if you have a bad couple of first days or couple of weeks or whatever, you can't overcome it, but I do think that hey, it's better to start off from a positive perspective, to have that initial burst versus to fight an uphill battle, against negative momentum. So that's what I had to say. Let's have a great year in 2021. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.